Start investing again and building our country and putting people to work doing that. And we will end George Bush's war on science. Let's begin to invest in science again. I have said that as president, I would ask the Congress to send me the bill that President Bush has vetoed twice so we could begin to do stem cell research to cure disease. And then as we make new discoveries in health, let's be sure everyone can have access to them. You know, it's not right in our country that so many people are denied access to quality, affordable health care. You know it happens every single day across Pennsylvania and America. And I believe it's time for our country to come up with a uniquely American solution. Let me tell you a quick story. I was campaigning in Ohio. We had a good result in Ohio. We're gonna And I was down in a little town on the Ohio River, and I was meeting with some citizens, including a deputy sheriff. The deputy sheriff told me about a young woman who lived in that small town. She worked at the local pizza parlor. She made minimum wage. She didn't have any health insurance. She got pregnant. She went to the hospital because she was having some problems. And I don't blame the hospital for this because you can only give out so much free care. The hospital said, we can't examine you unless you give us $100. She didn't have $100. So she went back home. About a week later, she was still in distress. She went back to the hospital. They told her the same thing. Next time she went to the hospital, it was in an ambulance. And when she got there, she and her baby were in terrible shape. And the doctors and nurses tried real hard. That baby died. Then they airlifted her by helicopter from this small town to Columbus to the medical center. And for 15 days, the doctors and the nurses tried to save her life in intensive care. But she died. When the deputy sheriff told me this, I sat there and I thought to myself, well, number one, I just can't accept the fact that in America, a young woman and her baby would die because she couldn't afford to be examined. I think that's morally wrong, and I know we're better than that, and I know we can do better than that. But also, think about it from this perspective. For the lack of $100, hundreds of thousands of dollars were spent when it was too late.
Yes.
Because we'll take care of somebody when they finally get to the emergency room, won't we?
Yeah.
They might have to wait, and they may get there too late, but we'll take care of them and we'll engage in heroic efforts to take care of them. So we end up spending so much more money, and every time someone goes to an emergency room and gets taken care of and can't pay, you know who pays? Everybody with insurance. Everybody who pays taxes. We all pay. In fact, if you have insurance, it's estimated you pay about $900 a year in a hidden tax to help pay for people who don't have anything. Now imagine if that young woman had been contributing, you know, some dollars every week, some ability to get a tax credit, to have her income calculated so that it would be a small percentage that would go to her health care. We would have been able, perhaps, to avoid a double tragedy, but we sure would have been able to save a lot of money. So here's what I think. We should open up the congressional plan to people who don't have insurance. If you have insurance and you're happy with it, you keep it. No changes. But if you don't have it, or if what you have doesn't work for you, then we're going to give you the same options that Congressman Murtha and I have. You will get to choose from the same plans, the private insurance plans, at the same cost that members of Congress get to.